Hello, hello. All right. So, I've been reading the 48 Laws of Power. I read one, sometimes two chapters or laws every day. Uh, Not every day, but I have three laws that I think are very good baselines, very good things to really help influence and make an impact on your life. So, the first law is always say less than necessary. I think what we all know what this pretty much means because we all have that friend or that person, especially in high school, that like literally just talked way too much. And it wasn't a bad thing. Like it fits personalities, and like it's not to say that saying too much is a bad thing. It's just that say like when you talk and when you say things, you can mess up. You can say things that you don't mean. You can say things that weren't meant to be said. When you talk less and you say only what's necessary, it pretty much forces you to only say the things that like are meant to be said. Are the things that like I I don't know how else to explain it. Like just speaking less enables you to have less risk from when you talk. Especially if you're talking about politics or like your opinions, it's not screening or hiding how you feel or what you think. That's not what you're doing because you can still make the same point that you wanted to make just in a shorter span, right? And you can do that by learning words, like literally going into a dictionary. I don't do this, but going into a dictionary and just learning new words that like fit the meaning. Like there's so many words that can fit the meaning of two different words, and you could combine those two words into one word, and now your sentence is half as short. You could do that like just always say less than necessary or as needed because it makes you seem more ominous. It makes people question, like not question you in the sense of invalidation, but in the sense of like, who is this guy? And it serves as less risk to you. Now, the second law I wish to speak about is the first law that I spoke about. I'll tell you which each law is. So the law number 4 was always say less than necessary, and I'm looking at law 13, which is when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest and never to the mercy or gratitude of them. Now, there are going to be many sides that are saying, well, that can like be a huge ego thing because like somebody can do something for you and just feel grateful for doing it. And like that's kind of what a man is supposed to do, right? You want to be a provider without asking for much in return. So, and I did this, I attempted this and it worked with one of my coworkers where I needed something from them and like, if you ask someone to cover your shift, right, from work, because even if you're sick, you still have to find coverage yourself. People will most 99% of the time people will say no unless you offer them money. And that is the sad truth. Even if they like are really good friends with you at work, they will say no unless you offer them money or like something in return. And this has time and time again worked for me. I said, "Hey, I'll give you an extra $20 if you cover my shift." And that was enough to make him say yes. their mercy and their gratitude, you know, they don't have to give it to you. And 99.9% of the time, they will not give it to you. People have such a massive ego now that they feel that you're not deserving of them. So they won't give you gratitude or appeal to you. And two, they don't even like subconsciously know how to do that or consciously know how to do that. Like how to be grateful. Like honestly, how many of you say thank you every time somebody does something for you? I don't. I certainly don't. I say thank you like even to my own customers, like who I'm doing the work for, right? I still say thank you. It's kind of like what you're supposed to do at work, but I don't have to say thank you, but I still do. And it feels great when they say it back. If they don't, it feels terrible. That's Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the roles that society foists on you. Recreate yourself by forging a new identity, one that commands attention and never bores the audience. like like that's such a powerful quote without even thinking about it. Be the master of your own image rather than letting others define it for you. Incorporate dramatic devices into your public gestures and actions. Your power will be enhanced and your character will soon seem larger than life. Like, this is. I read these and I'm like, dude, I can't believe that if you actually read a legitimate good book, how much knowledge you can gain. This is another big like ego thing where it's like, well, you're fine just the way you are. You don't need to like change yourself. And it when you go and read into the chapter and you look at the examples that they give you, they're not saying recreate your entire personality and body. One, you can't even change, and the other, you're not supposed to change. Who you are as a person is fine. Nobody's upset with who you are. It's more what you do, how you act, how you think. Right? So I often say this cycle, um, how you feel is how you think. No, no, no. How you think is how you feel. Or, okay. How you act is how you feel. How you feel is how you think. And how you think is from external things and also internal things. So they're kind of what they mean by recreate yourself is more change how you perceive the outside world. Change how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Because if you're someone who is just like extremely depressed and sees life as this miserable thing that you just have to go through, it's not. You feel that way because you think that way. If you simply just changed how you thought, it would change how you feel almost immediately. Like, if you're sitting there right now listening to me saying, my life sucks, then stop and say right now, like, it doesn't suck. I get to be on this beautiful planet floating in the middle of space. That is like the very first thing that you get to be grateful for. And then you get to be grateful for the people that put you there. Even if you hate them and you despise them, you wouldn't be here without them. And I know like to a lot of people, that's what the hell. Like, why you can't? I can't be thankful to them, and that's understandable because many parents hurt their children. Many parents even despise their children, and you know, there's this whole like lone wolf kind of mindset where it's like, don't be grateful to anyone, don't be grateful for anything, do what you have to do to get to the top. And it's like those people aren't even at the top. Those lone wolf motherfuckers are still at the bottom. Not really the bottom, they're high performers, but like they sacrificed everything that pretty much made them happy to get there. And now they're just living this miserable life, and it's no different from a working class man making minimum wage because he suffers just like from different ways, but almost as much, right? I think being nice reflects back to you without other people even reflecting it back. Like, someone doesn't have to say thank you to you without showing that they're thankful, right? One look from somebody that has never given you a look before can immediately change how you feel. If someone has always looked at you with a smile and then they immediately don't look at you with a smile, you will recognize that face for all eternity. But if someone always looked at you with a frowny face or like a disgusted face and they gave you a smile one day, you would remember that smile for the rest of your life. And this has nothing to do with recreating yourself, but recreating yourself is just changing how you perceive the world. You can think of the world as, you know, giving birth and recreation, or you could think of it as destruction and anarchy and fire. You know which one is going to make you happier, and you know which one you look at now. And we all look at that. We all look at this world the same way. And it's until you decide not to look at it that way is when you finally start to feel the happiness, the gratitude. And it starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. It starts with you and your perception. I know many people are going to say, I can't do this. My life, I'm not grateful for my life whatsoever. In fact, I don't even want it. And I can't give you help for that. Like, I don't mean to smile and laugh, but you need professional help. I'm not a professional psychiatrist or a professional therapist. I'm just a guy who read a book and thought of 3 laws that could help you. Anyway, if you want me to explain more laws a little bit better so it's a little bit more clear, because this book is very like egotistical, very like make yourself believe that you're the very best. And you have to read this book with a sense of, I don't have an ego. I'm not the best. I'm reading this book to learn. So therefore I'm not the best. Like, you're learning about power. And power is a very dangerous tool if it's used in the wrong hands and in the stupid hands. If you want me to kind of help introduce this book to you, I will certainly do this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a bit longer than my usual ones, but that's alright. I hope this book, I hope you guys please get this book. I bought it for like $15 on Amazon. I mean, seriously, if you don't have $15 to spend on your education when you would go and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to college if you were granted into an Ivy League school. If you're not willing to spend $15 to read one of the greatest books in history, then you got to start somewhere lower. Please have a good night, morning, day, whatever time it is for you. And please look at life like it's an adventure and a journey, and that the struggles and the hardship, it's what you're supposed to go through. Anyway, I'm going to steal this quote again: do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I think it's just such a great quote, you know? It's just like, that's exactly what you want to hear when you don't feel like doing the work. Just do it. Just do it, because when you don't feel like it, that's the best time to do it, right? Alright. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.